tell you about my show. Wednesday nights. And here we go. It's the rule of three with a touch of Basco. And like the Joker says, and here we go. It's Wednesday night and it's 9 o'clock. Click on the thumbnail, it's about to get hot. We get 3 different questions in only 3 minutes. It ain't for the scared, it ain't for the timid. Some will like us and some just don't. A lot will back us and some just won't. It don't matter with the Khaos crew. We specialize in making things do what they do. So sit back, chill, and enjoy the show with me, Chris, Gaiskar, and Anzo.
Fire, peace. 9 o'clock, Wednesday nights. Don't miss it. Check us out.
And as Danny likes to say, here we go. Guys, it is Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is time for the Rule of Three, where we take 3 questions. It could be in sports, current events, or popcorn.
I am begging that Danny's question about Steph Curry gets picked. I really want that question so bad.
I bet.
Bad.
It could be any one of those 3 topic or categories, and we take 3 questions. We get 3 minutes each, and then we discuss it for 3 minutes as a group, either to agree again or to totally rip each other apart like Danny and Anza will probably do if the Steph Curry question comes up. We got some fire topics tonight, guys. So I'm very interested to see what does show up. But in order for that to happen, we have to spin this beautiful wheel, the wheel of topics. Yes, the wheel of topics is how we determine what we talk about here. So first off, we got G Major and we got Jason Lee Tucker. Hopefully we get and LDG also. I saw him. Geeks Enjoy. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you share this out on your favorite social media site and do all that. Let's do this really quick. Before we do that, let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves. Let's do that. Since I got you up here first, guys, go ahead and tell everybody about everything. It's your turn to know everything. This is your test.
Well, if you tune in on Sundays at 5 o'clock for the Loki Roundtable hosted by Chris Knight on Chaos Central, then right after at 8:30 hosted by JJ for the Bad Batch Roundtable, then Mondays 9 p.m. the Chaotic Conversations, then Tuesday 9 p.m. the Chaos List, then Wednesdays 9 p.m. the Rule of Three. You can catch me also at 10 p.m. along with Anzo on Biggaford Entertainment for the OOC, and my channels is the Basco Scenario, gaming clips, reviews, you name it, random streams whenever I feel like doing them. Definitely, let's do this. Let's go.
All right. Up next, I got Anzo of Biggaford Entertainment. Anzo, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
What's up, guys? You know the channel, Biggaford Entertainment. All the things like Gaiskar said, so I don't really have to repeat them anymore. Just make sure you check out the OOC later on tonight because we got a fire show for you guys. So hope you guys appreciate the work that we put in. And Chris, I'm ready to get this show started.
Awesome. Up next is Mr. Danny of Comic Chat with the black curtains. Beautiful. That's all right. Tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Oh,
and you're frozen.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I am Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. About to change my logo. I'll tell you, boy, between this and the other one for the show, working a brother to death. But Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is my show. Chaotic Conversation. So, like I said, like Anzo said, I'm ready to go. Got some real good questions. So I hope ones that we want will fall on the magical wheel of topics.
All right. Well, you already saw it, so let's just show it again. Make this really simple. It is, again, the wheel of topics. We spin it. We get 3 topics. Here we go. David, good to see you in the chat.
What's up, David?
How bad do you think cancel culture has really become? Do you see an end of it in sight? Very interesting one to start with.
I can hear a TV in the background. Somebody get a TV.
You got my TV? Hold on. Let me see if
Your
I can
TV.
fix
Hold
it.
on, it might be me.
No, it's
All
me.
Again, how bad do you think cancel culture has really become? Do you see an end of it in sight?
I'll go.
All right. Well, let's bring up the timer. 3 minutes is on the board. Gaiskar, you can go now.
Actually, I don't see an end to it anytime soon. The grasp of cancel culture can reach into everything: politics, movie stars, even ourselves. Unfortunately, that we're on these platforms, we can easily say something that doesn't strike a chord with a specific group, and they can quickly just clip whatever we're doing and start hashtagging whatever we said, and misconstruing whatever we say as well, and easily, cancel us, have us to leave the platform. We've seen this with Gina Carano. We've seen this with various what's his name? I have a blank now. Johnny Depp. We've seen this with his wife as well, right? All these people going after her to not be on the Aquaman movie, him not getting his shot at a movie role. It's ridiculous what the power of the social platforms that we have that can be used for so much good, but can be also used for so much bad. And it sucks because a lot of people are quick to pull the trigger and judge people without getting the full stories on both sides of the platform, like his story, her stories. In the case of, Johnny Depp and I forgot her name, the redhead in Aquaman. But it just sucks really bad because it's becoming a society where you have to be walking on eggshells, specifically even when you meet people, because you might offend them, right? That's what it's creating. For me, if it was up to me, I would put them all in an arena, see them face to face, and have one question to ask them: did your parents ever whoop you? Because for me, it's lack of building up character and stuff like that. I just feel that what's coming, that generation that's coming, and I'm not saying it's everybody, because there's specific people in that same generation that, they're not like that, but the majority of it is we have to cater to their needs more than what society is. So society has to defuse everything that was from the past in order to build a new reality for them to be able to exist in. And that's all I have to say. You're muted.
Yeah.
It would help if I unmute. I do that so you don't hear the keyboard. Go figure. All right. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
All right. Anto, your time starts now.
Okay, so what was the question? Just cancel culture is definitely out of hand. It's getting really bad because it's like you can't say anything anymore without people getting offended. And this is the biggest problem that I have, is that when we were growing up, you could basically do a comedy show, right? And you could talk about anything in that comedy show. Eddie Murphy done it. Richard Pryor's done it. George Carlin has done it. You know what I mean? Like all the things that they were talking about, homosexuality, black people, white people, Asian people, and it was all for jokes at the end of the day. Now it's like, if you want to say a joke like that, you got to apologize. Just look what happened to Kevin Hart. He made a statement about if his son was gay, you know what I mean? And they rolled with it. They tried to get him to apologize, which he did apologize, but then they wanted him to apologize on every fucking single platform that he went on. And he was like, no, I apologized once and I'm not doing it again. And I completely understand that. For that reason, they never gave him the Oscars, So my point is, it's just people need to stop having this thick skin, or start having thick skin, and realize that, if you don't like something, don't watch it, tune it out, click onto something else. There's more important things in this world than to be worrying about what somebody said or some stupid shit like that. Now, the next part of the question is, do I see it getting better? And unfortunately, I do not. Unfortunately, I do not, because the sensitive people are raising sensitive kids. You know what I mean? And those kids are going to raise sensitive kids. And you can't say this, and you can't say that, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. So I don't think it's going to get better. I actually think it's going to get a lot worse. If it gets better, it'll get worse before it gets better. People like us who don't agree with cancel culture, I think we need to stand up and be more vocal, because the people that are with cancel culture are a small minority, but they have the loudest fucking voice, and that's the biggest thing. And their voices are so loud that it's getting studios to change certain things. You know, they're not doing the type of movies they want to do, because they have to be careful. Well, we can't say this in the movie, we can't do this in the movie. You know, we have to make sure that the women we put in the movie are not looking stupid, and then we got to make men look stupid so that it doesn't make the women look stupid. It's all kind of shit that they're doing just to cater to the cancel culture group, and it's really ridiculous at this point. You know what I mean? Whatever happened to just creating the movie that you want, or whatever you want to do, creating it, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Because no matter what you do, people are gonna like it or people are gonna hate it.
Very good. All right, Danny, 3 minutes. Go.
I think cancel culture is born out of three things, mainly fear, knee-jerk reactions, and ignorance. And of course, unfortunately, that's going to run its course. I think it's going to get better, but I do agree with Anzo said it's going to get worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, what I've seen in my existence here on the planet is that it's not going to get into importance or clout. They're really a decision maker, a mover and a shaker, gets the short end of the stick, then that's when you see some kind of change. Or when it happens on such a frequent basis and people raise such a noise that I hope that it dies down and then try to secretly slide back into it. Another thing that Gaiskar said was that this platform should be used for good, but as we all know, everything that's used for good, there is a way to use it as well. And this cancel culture to me is just people with knee-jerk reactions, people that didn't have a voice. Now they get a little bit of keys, frustrated, and now all their prejudices and all their shortcomings and all their character flaws, they're able now to put that in something physical and mess with people's lives. Somebody that these movers and shakers should have some kind of something in place, some kind of procedure or something that, look, if you've been accused of whatever the case can be, go through this system. If you found the innocent, whatever terminology you want to use, then maybe you get a fine or an offense or a suspension or something. You just can't destroy somebody's career or somebody's livelihood on the word of somebody else, because the same First Amendment right that you proclaim to be defending, you stepping on it too. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a slippery slope. So how can you cancel for saying something, but then you have the right to say what makes sense to me? Cancel culture is very ignorant. The knee-jerk reaction problem that we're having, it's going to run its course. But I agree 1,000% what Anzo said. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to have to get so bad, and we're going to have to get so sick and tired as a people and as a country that we're going to demand change. But how long that's going to take, I don't know. It could take 1 or 2 generations. It could be 3 or 4. I hope that we'll see that change before in our lifetimes, but I don't know, because it seems like stranger and stranger things keep rolling around each year. So I don't know how strong or how weak this internet or this YouTube or this cyber world is going to get, but if it's not checked, you're going to be in a mess. So I don't foresee it ending anytime soon.
All right. Hey, Yvette, how you doing? Good to see you. See Commander Data. We got Tim's talks. Kylo Tim, good to see you. David again. I saw Ashhead here. Austinator. Thank you guys. Remember to share the stream out. And let's see here. Will it get better? Yes. Inevitably. People get tired of it. And the problem with it is much like I've said about politics, is that when you have one extreme on one side, then the other side comes, but it's just as extreme. And it's a pendulum. That pendulum, if it's pulled back too far, when you let go of it, it swings as far as it can the opposite direction. Right now, cancel culture's pretty far up here. When it does hit the stop button, it's just not going to go back to center. It's going to swing very far to the other way. Now, is that good or bad? I don't know. Because that means what? We're going to let everything go then? Or there won't be as much scrutiny on things? I don't think that's how it should be. But I'm afraid that there will be a moment where things are just like, we don't want to take a chance because people got pissed at us for having our hands in the cookie jar so often.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good either. But that's typically how it is. And then it takes a while for it to calmly swing back to this very tiny swinging area where everything's kind of status quo. You get a little extreme this way, a little extreme that way, but for the most part, it's a good mix. And that's not good until you get to that point. And I mean, I believe it will end. And yes, Danny, Gaiskar, Anza, you're all right. It's going to just get to that spot where it's like a baby. It can't do anything at a certain point but just scream and cry. Right now, we're all itching because we're hungry or we have a dirty diaper, whatever you want to say. That if you have kids, you understand the analogy I'm using here. You can tell, you can hear it in their little their whimpers and stuff. You can hear that they're not happy. That's where we're at right now. It's going to take a major outcry from people in general to say, listen, step back, let it be. If they want to be idiots and say stupid stuff, let people decide if they want to follow them. Let people decide if they want to watch them. That's how it should be. But right now, somebody says something stupid, whether or not it's really how they think or it's just they didn't think of what to say, people jump on it and want to rip them apart and throw them to the wolves. If they're sincerely asking for forgiveness or giving you an apology, go ahead and let them off the hook. Don't keep pushing. Like, for instance, the Gina Carano situation is a perfect example. She made a retweet, basically, and she took the brunt of it. But nobody ever cared when people started coming up and say, hey, right here, the Holocaust Museum tweeted the same damn thing. They just worded it differently. So things like that. Let's keep talking about this, guys. It will change. But when it changes, what does it become?
Change comes when we stop.
Probably gonna be
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm just saying it's probably gonna be like what you said. It's gonna be anything goes, free fall. Just be just so vulgar and disrespectful. So one extreme is just as bad as the other. You got to find that happy medium. I don't know when we'll find that happy medium.
I know one thing that's going to help when we stop entitling our kids, giving them things because we never had them in order to think that's the right way. We have to show that everything in life has a value and needs to be worked for. And us just giving them things because the neighbors have it or whatever, we're just creating an entitled generation and schools and educators are not helping either, because right off the bat, they're teaching them, oh, you can't say these things, you can't do this, you can't do that. Your father can't do this, your mother can't do this. And right off the bat, parents' hands are starting to be tied from the way we were raised. So.
No, I agree with that. I think that when you got so many people worrying about how you raise your kids, if you're not beating your kids, if you're not abusing your kids, there shouldn't be any interference from the outside world. If I don't want to give my kid something because I'm trying to teach him a lesson or teach him, how to deal with things, I shouldn't be getting a call because my kid's unhappy at school because he doesn't have this or that. And they say, oh, well, maybe you should think about doing. No, stay out of my house and stay out of that. Just think about it. How many people these days they literally are in there. If a kid comes with a scratch, and I know this for a fact, family services is called. And I've had that happen to me when my kids were younger because they get in fights. I have 2 boys. They got in fights. They scratched each other. Well, what the hell? Of course, I told them, I said, are you idiots? Why didn't you call me first? And if you didn't like my answer, then you call them. But it's
that's super sensitive because we don't get calls like not for a scratch. Now we see bruising or broken bones or
Going what Chris was saying, when my daughter was in a daycare, they used to have a social worker go to the daycare to make sure all the kids were okay. And my little one had a severe not as much now, but had severe case of eczema where her skin would actually split open. And she was like about maybe 2 or 3. And she had like lesions and it would look like at points, it would look like whips. Like if she got whipped, right? Because the way it split open. And when the social worker actually asked her, how did you get that? And my daughter's 2, right? Oh, my daddy. But she was saying my daddy puts the cream on me, right? So when I went to pick her up, the daycare worker said, you might get a call. I'm not sure. I told her she has eczema and stuff, but you might get a call from social services. I never got the call, but just, holy shit, right? it's just
and that's the thing. It's like, it's crazy because you're like, well, what the hell?
Right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Topic number 2. Let's see what it's going to be.
Now on stage, Danny.
Oh, I'm happy for this one.
Something.
Bill Cosby was released. What?
Who question
Do what?
Bill
That's
Cosby
mine.
I
Bill
said,
Cosby
whose
was
question was that?
mine. Oh, the first one?
Was it mine?
The first was mine. I was asking who was this
Yeah.
one.
This one's mine. If you want to, Danny, you're really lagging. If you want to try to back out and come back in real quick and see if that fixes it. Just letting you know. Bill Cosby was released and his conviction was overturned on the grounds of a previous arrangement with the prosecuting attorney. One, was this fair for his victims? 2, was this justice for Bill Cosby? And 3, in this, or is this another case of railroading since Cosby's law team made reference to the prior agreement during his trial? So it's kind of a 3-part answer.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna go first on this one.
These are the things I would like to say to you. Go ahead, Alza.
Oh, hold on here. Danny's right here. Let's see if yeah, there he is. Okay. All right. So Anzo, 3 minutes. Go.
All right. So first off, was it justice? Yes and no, because Bill Cosby should have never been tried in the first place, right? What happened was, and I've been doing a little bit of research on it and stuff like that. It was a civil suit, and they told him that if he says some things in the civil suit, that he will not be charged. Now, a lot of people are sitting there saying that Bill Cosby confessed in the civil suit, and he did not confess. What he said was, yes, he had these girls over. He said, yes, he gave them drugs. Yes, he gave them alcohol. But he also said that it was consensual, that they wanted the drugs, that they wanted the alcohol. Now, what happens after that? Hey, who knows? We are all men, right? We have all had women sit up at our house, drink and smoke, get high, one thing leads to another. Now, are we fucking them when they're passed out and shit? Absolutely not. Did Bill Cosby do that? To me, that still remains to be seen, right? The point is, he shouldn't have been convicted in the first place. So second off is another thing is a lot of these cases to me are suspect because Janice Dickerson, the model, she was one of the ones who first came out and said, Bill Cosby did this to me. Bill Cosby did this to me. And then years later or months later, she ended up coming out saying that it was a lie for her book. right? She wrote a book, said it was a lie. So you got this one count of someone lying, then you got to understand, well, maybe some of them others are lying. Maybe some of them are telling the truth. Maybe some of them are lying. But at the end of the day, he should not have been convicted. If there are victims, if he did do it, then I feel sorry for them, but they should be complaining to the DA. This should not have to do with anything with Bill Cosby, because what they say, First Amendment, when you're in criminal court, you can plead the fifth so you don't incriminate yourself. In civil church cases, it's a little bit different, right? But the fact that he came out and said what he said and wasn't supposed to be convicted or go to court for it, and he did. So yes, justice was served. But at the end of the day, Bill Cosby should have never spent a day in jail for himself. So yeah, you can say he got the justice that he deserved because he's out and free. But at the end of the day, he still spent 2 years in prison, which, again, I don't like to be a conspiracy theory, but they're talking about how he was trying to buy NBC, right? And I used to be saying, no, Bill Cosby buy no NBC, this and that. Then I read a few articles where he actually had investors. It wasn't just him. He had a bunch of investors. And then just a few days ago, I watched Judge Joe Brown on Kwame Brown, and he was saying the same thing, that it was a plan for Bill Cosby and investors to buy NBC. So I'm thinking, they said they weren't going to charge him. They charged him, put him in jail for 2 years so he couldn't buy NBC. That's just what I think. But hey, who knows?
God damn, Anzo did his fucking research. Look at him.
Who would like to go next?
Man.
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
All right. Go ahead, Danny. 3 minutes. Time starts now.
Am I still lagging a little bit? I don't know what's the problem.
No, you're doing pretty good.
No, you seem
Anyway,
good, Daniel.
Okay. Anyway, I agree with some of what Anzo says. I can tell you from the law enforcement standpoint that if you decide to take a plea deal, and if you do everything in the plea deal that the prosecutor lays out for you, he or she is supposed to honor that agreement. The only way that agreement does not get honored if the judge decides. And what people don't know is just because the defense attorney and the prosecutor comes up with a deal, the judge has the right to overturn it. But usually if they come up with something that's fair and something that both sides can find a happy medium, the judge usually complies. There are some hard-ass judges that say, like, no, I don't think this is enough. So they'll tell you to go back and do it, or they can impose the punishment themselves. In this case, I don't think that happened. So if there are victims, I sympathize for the victims. But one of the theories that I heard was that former President Trump and Bill Cosby had some kind of beef. He kind of found these ladies and threw green stuff their way. I heard it. I don't have no proof. Just you hear stuff out in the air. I don't know. To tell you the truth, really don't care. But Bill Cosby went through the court system, and he was unfortunately, based on if the facts are correct, he was misled, and he spent 2 years of his life in jail. But they were able to correct it. You can't unring a bell. You can't give back those 2 lives. You can't give back to his co-workers and other actors that lost money because the show was pulled. So how do you fix that? How do you rectify that? Especially if you come to find out he was innocent, but you done took 2 years of money out of the other actors' mouths. So I mean, it's a very slippery slope. It's very a complicated situation. We would like to think, because we grew up with Bill Cosby, that he didn't do it. I would love to think that. I don't have any proof one way or the other that he did do it or didn't do it. I don't want to belittle a woman who's possibly been traumatized by that experience, because I don't know what she went through. If in fact she was taken advantage of, then maybe some justice with the years he spent. But if he wasn't, or they weren't, then how are you going to give man back 2 years of his life? Because half the world think that he's a pervert. It's hard to shake that mental picture in your mind.
To undo it.
And it's hard to get back the ground that you lost. So in this scenario, I think justice is done.
Facts, Danny.
All right. Gaiskar,
Woo,
I'm glad
man.
you're the first white boy to take this on. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Saying that, it could be a race thing too, right? The NBC thing, corporate company. That whole thing that Trump said, that Danny said about Trump, could be true as well. We don't know the facts. We don't know what goes on behind these huge multi-corporate companies where there's so much money involved and so many people involved.
Absolutely.
So did he get misled? It's very possible. Could they have told him, listen, if you do this, the maximum you probably do is 2 years and you're out. Maybe he knew he was going to be out in 2 years and he's just playing along with the whole thing because it could have been worse. Who knows? But, race does have to play in this. Definitely does. And 2 years, what I find really weird, and which Ansel didn't mention, and he's mentioned in other times, was it took how long these women to come forward? Why? And it's all to the point where everything started when he was going to go and purchase NBC. So, conspiracy, I say so. Because he's black, I say so. And these women just looking for a quick money, maybe. Did it not happen? Who knows? But why wait so damn long? That's the point I don't get. And I can understand it's traumatic. Some victims take a long time to actually come out and talk about these situations. That is true. But 30 years? To the point to that, I think it's a long time. And I'm not, like Danny said, I'm not trying to say it did not happen to these women. If that occurred, it's terrible. But I have to say, justice was served, and just saying what Danny said as well. A lot of people lost their jobs and lost integrity for supporting him. A lot of ex co-stars that stood by him, and they faced heat for doing that. What could they say now? Once you're marked as a certain type of pedophile or whatever, or a rapist, there's no eraser that can undo that. That's going to be around you for life. And only those close to you that really care for you and believe you will stand next to you. But for all the other people and the people that don't know all the facts, guess what? They're going to look at the negative before they look at the good. So,
facts. And just to go with what you're saying, you're absolutely right, man. That's it. Whether none of us know if it's true or not. It's just some of the things seem very suspect in this situation. That's
absolutely.
Okay, so let's start with the NBC thing. I have no doubt that this screwed his NBC chances. Listen, the only way conspiracy theories work is everybody's in on it. And I just can't see everybody being in on it. But could it be possible? Anything is possible, okay? Not going to go into that. What I do know is if I have a traumatic injury during an accident, I can't come back 30 years later and sue that person that I had the accident with for my medical bills that I'm still incurring.
Facts.
I'm never going to tell a woman that it isn't traumatic. I'm not going to tell any woman that, no, I understand. Maybe it takes time, but there should be a time limit. Because if you're that serious, if you want a person to pay for it, then you need to come forward. And I understand that's a double-edged sword, because it may work in your behalf. It may work for you where you get a prosecutor who will listen and prosecute, and it may not. They may look at you and go like, there's no way this guy doesn't. I mean, we know names like Kevin Spacey. Nobody would have thought the things about Kevin Spacey. He got off, though, as far as I know. Maybe we're waiting on some stuff. So we hear these things, but it's like, listen, if you really want a person to pay for it, then you need to be given a time limit. And I'm not going to be the person to tell you what that time limit is. But I'm sorry, if it is that traumatic, 30 years later is not the time to come forward. You can do an expose about it in 30 minutes or 30 years later. I don't care. But 30 years later, that's just ridiculous. I do find this suspect, and that's why I use the term railroading, because I believe that's what Bill Cosby was. Anzo's absolutely right. He was told by the prosecutor, come to the civil trial, and you come up, you will not be tried on anything you say. Basically, he was given amnesty on what he said, and they said, you will not be charged. He came up. He never admitted to rape. What he admitted to was sexual relations, drugs, and alcohol. And that in his mind, everything was consensual because they came to him. They took the pills. He didn't hide it from them. And they drank. That's what he admitted to.
Absolutely.
When they came to his trial, the new prosecutor in that same place didn't honor what the prosecuting attorney's office had already offered. And that right there should get that person disbarred because he railroaded this through. And that's what I know is that, and we'll keep talking about it. They pushed it through and they didn't care. And like I said, his law team brought this up point blank and was denied bringing it up. That's why the Supreme Court overturned it because it was plain as day. But the question is where was the old prosecutor?
Right.
Why wasn't this in their office? Why wasn't this plastered? Bill Cosby can't be tried for this. Why was this not plastered? Why was this not put in a frame someplace? I mean, that's the long and short of it. Does it suck for the women that he's out because they thought that they had some sort of justice? Yes, it sucks. But I'm sorry. Talk to the prosecuting attorney about it.
And listen, at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, if he really did that, then yeah, fuck him, right? But I gotta go with like my history, man. Like I'll just go with my history. And I know sometimes girls will call you up and be like, hey, what you doing? Nothing. Yo, I got some chronic, I got some weed. You wanna come over? Sure, no problem. Right? I've had that. You know, I've talked, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, man, I just got a bottle of Johnny Walker. You wanna come have a drink with me? Sure, no problem. Right? So it's not like he just said, oh yeah, hey, let's come over for a business meeting, and then boom and pop. Maybe he did do that. Right? Maybe he did. But I'm just saying, like, the way it is to me, I know how things are. Plus, and Judge Joe Brown said it best. When this stuff was happening, it was in the 80s. And what are the 80s and 70s known for? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
And videotape.
You know what I mean? Exactly. That's what it was known for. So,
yeah. I think it's, yeah, I mean, again, I don't see Bill Cosby. The thing that bothers me about this case more than anything is listen, those women were nobodies in show business. Bill Cosby was the man.
Facts.
He was the man. He was everybody's father. He was the funny guy. They came there not expecting to just sit down and have a conversation.
Facts.
And I hate to be, listen, guys have done it too. There have been guys in Hollywood, guys in music. Listen, Ron Jeremy, when he learned what he could get for doing gay porno, he jumped on that train. Listen, people do things. These women, right or wrong, I think they made a decision and they showed up in the first place. And if what they're accusing him of happened, they initiated the initial part. Does that? And I'm not trying to make them.
I know what you mean. Victim, not the victim, right, of something that happened. But at the end of the day,
listen. Everybody's parents, everybody who has a daughter, Gaiskar, your daughter, are you going to tell her that anything good's going to come of going over to somebody's house in the middle of the night?
At like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know.
Alone.
At like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yo, we all know, and there's women, Mads Mombears that you know, if they call someone at 1 o'clock in the morning, those are booty call hours.
Yep.
Those are booty call hours, right?
And I'm telling you.
Not only that, though, before we go on, I don't put it past Hollywood to be like, hey, you know, you've had an interaction with Bill Cosby. What if we pay you $10,000, $1 million for you to say this and this and this and this, right? And the more women you get, the worse it looks for him.
Yeah.
Right. Judge Joe Brown actually said he had that experience where they were fucking talking to women that he was dancing with at a party and offered them money to say he touched them appropriately. So I don't put it past Hollywood to do that.
No,
that's scary, man. You come to think about it, it's really scary.
Yeah, they own you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that this had a lot of people who got screwed. Those women, if they felt like they were victims, they got screwed because this is only going to make it stick around longer. And now it hurts more because if you're really scared of Bill Cosby, if you are, you're worried now. There's nothing that's ever going to change that. You know, you don't know. Yeah. So, okay. Let's go on to the third and final question. You got your talisman, Hanzo. You rubbing it to see if we get the Steph Curry.
Yeah, man.
Steph Curry, Steph Curry, Steph Curry, Steph Curry, Steph Curry.
Shit. Oh, wait. Wait, that's it, isn't it?
Nope. It's the Hugh Jackman one. You know what? We'll have a little bit of time. I'll let you guys go at it after this one. With the rumblings of Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine, place yourself as the casting director of the Disney X-Men. Who do you cast as Wolverine?
Damn.
God damn it, man.
I made some good questions this week.
Oh my God, we have that one. All right, let me go first. Right. I want to get this one over with.
All right, 3 minutes. Time starts now, and so go.
Man, I am so not good when it comes to like thinking about who should be play this or who should do that. So I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. I have two right now. Keanu Reeves, you know, I think he might be a good Wolverine. The only problem for me with him is he's kind of one-dimensional. You know, like whatever movie you watch, you see Keanu Reeves, you know, he's monotone actor. So I think he could probably look the part, but to act like him, I don't know. The next choice I have, and which would be my top choice, would probably be Carl Urban. If you watch The Boys, if you watch whatever else he was in, I think he would make a good Wolverine. You know, he has the acting chops. Dredd, yeah. He has the acting chops. He may be a little bit too tall or whatever, but I mean, the height of Wolverine never bothered me. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. The height of Wolverine never bothered me, but a lot of people used to say, oh, he's too tall to play Wolverine and blah, blah, and all this bullshit. So that doesn't really bother me. But as an actor, I think he has the chops to pull it off. I would actually like to see him in the MCU, so I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, yeah, I think he's a good actor. I think he should. I've seen Devil's Advocate, Mads Lumber. I've seen it, but still, it's Keanu Reeves still act the same in that to me. Like if you watch Keanu Reeves, to me, it's like Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves. But again, he's a great actor. Like he immerses himself in the roles. You know, if you watch his training for the John Wicks, yeah, you would believe this guy is like a Navy SEAL or some shit. He is on point when he does his fucking shit, man. When I watch his training, and him and Halle Berry were doing it for John Wick 3, and I was just like, holy shit, this guy is badass. So he brings in authentic value to playing Wolverine, I think, you know. I think he does his own action scenes too as well, if I'm not
mistaken. He's Canadian.
And he's Canadian on top of that.
Oh, you see, here we go.
Yeah, but what? You know, Canadian.
I mean, I guess Wolverine is supposed to be Canadian, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And you know, Canadians do it better, right? We do.
Danny bailed. It's like, screw this shit.
I was like, fuck these Canadians. But yeah, Canadians do it better. Y'all know that, right? Americans, you know that. You know how we do. Yeah. So yeah, I would say Keanu Reeves or Carl Urban for my choices.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, Gaiskar by default.
That's me.
3 minutes. Go.
I would have to actually go with either Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie
Hunnam.
Hunnam from.
He did the
Talking about
King
Jax?
Arthur's.
From
No, he did the
Yes.
King
He did
Arthur
Jax
series.
on,
Legend of the...
He was Sons of
the
Anarchy
Jax
too.
on
Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has that
Mhm.
demeanor, you know. I could see him having, he's big. He's not too tall.
What's the thing with the robots too?
I think with the robots.
Pacific Rim.
Mhm. Yeah.
He was in the first
Exactly.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
I see him. I think he would be good. I know a lot of people say Tom Hardy, but no. Yeah, I would say him. I like his demeanor. He was good in Sons of Anarchy. He has that. He has that. I would say musky look already.
Okay.
So I think he would pull it off. Another person that I would say would be other people were saying as well was Scott Eastwood. I think we brought that up as well at one time when we spoke about it. Clint Eastwood's son. Don't know much about that, but that's what I've heard and read. But I would go with Hanan for sure. That would be my choice. Can't really add anything more to that. Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh,
What does that sound familiar?
Harry Potter. It says they're talking about
Talking,
Radcliffe. He looks the
Harry
part with
Potter.
facial hair. He kind of does, but I couldn't
He's too
buy
small.
that.
He's too small.
Yeah.
Built.
Yeah.
He has to seriously bulk up.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Gaiskar?
Next.
Oh no, that's it. That's I don't have anything.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Sorry, I was just checking the score.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
No.
and before Danny goes, let me just answer this real quick. Mads, I didn't say wooden, I said monotone, right? So when you watch Devil's Advocate, you see Keanu Reeves, you see Neo, you see John Wick. When you watch John Wick, you see the same character. So I don't say he's wooden, I say he's a monotone actor. So
Okay. And I'll explain that a little more when I get to it. Danny, 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I got three actors off the top of my head. I do think Tom Hardy would be awesome. He's a very diverse actor. I've seen him play different roles. There was one role he was like a moonshiner or something. I can't think of the name of that movie, but kind of back in like the Prohibition times. Man, he was the best. If he could transfer that into Wolverine role, we can see that in buff up. He can lose weight. He can get muscular. He has no problem transforming his body into whatever role it calls for. So I think Tom Hardy would definitely be in the running if I was the casting director. Number two would be Jason Momoa. He has a look. I know some people say he's too tall, but he has that feral look. So they could shoot an angle to make him look shorter than what he really is. I think he's probably like 6'3", 6'4", probably taller than Hugh Jackman was. But I think he could definitely pull it off with the hair and the mustache and that kind of stuff. He probably have to cut his hair a little bit. I don't know if he's going to do that. I just recently saw him saying that he's not ever cutting his hair for a part. So I don't know how the hell that would play out. But enough money, I chop the shit off. And I'm pretty sure Lisa Bonet's wife was saying, yeah, chop off, baby, they give you $60 million to do it. The last one is John Paul. He's the guy that played the Punisher. He's the guy that played on the Punisher, and I think he played on The Walking Dead. He is the height because he's a pretty short guy. I don't think he's even 6 feet tall, and he has that gruff looking appearance. And I can see him bulking up, maybe not big as Jackman, but big enough to pull off the part. And of course, they can see that stuff, like Chris said, a little bit more muscular than he really is. But off the top of my head, those three, I think they could definitely, either one of those three, I would be happy. I think they could pull it off. Now, I want to think they're probably young enough to do it at least 10 years, which would be a big factor. I don't know if Keanu Reeves, I think Keanu Reeves may be in his 50s, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he is too.
So I don't know if he could do that. I think these other guys here, and I could be wrong, are all still in their 40s, maybe even early 40s. So I think those would be my top 3 choices.
Well, you see, because we don't really get an age for Wolverine, right? They can still make him a little bit older than most of the X-Men, because I feel like they're going to go young with the X-Men. But Wolverine doesn't have to be in his teens. He could be a little bit older. But again, we got to understand that they want to sign someone that they can keep for at least 10 years, if not more. So,
yeah. Jason Momoa is 41, so he could do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I got 3 guys. You guys mentioned you guys mentioned a whole bunch of people that I thought about. Let's see here. First off, I'll say Oscar Isaac, the guy that played Poe in the new Star Wars trilogy. I think he can do it.
Oscar Isaac.
Difficult. Yeah, Oscar Isaac. I think it'd be difficult though to look past him because
you didn't start your time, Chris.
Apocalypse, right?
Oh shit. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he could do it. But you know, another one is Andrew Lincoln. I'm trying to remember what he's in. He's been in some BBC stuff.
That's the bad guy from the Heath Ledger movie, ain't it? From A Knight's Tale.
I think that's possibly. But he's working on the untitled Walking Dead movie. He's been in The Walking Dead, and he's already playing an anti-hero on that, so it's kind of the same idea. A third one is Joaquin Phoenix, and I know people think I'm crazy, but this guy is a kind of a method actor. I think he can get into it. But who would I pick? Daphne Keane, the one that played the girl, his daughter, in Logan. That's your answer right there. You know what? You solve a lot of problems with this. Disney gets their gender swap, but at the same time, you're playing into a lot of people who loved Logan, and you're playing into what they liked. And I think you can please a lot of people as long as it's done right with her. Mm-hmm. And you just continue down the line, and you're not really going to reboot the whole thing. You just kind of, I think the best thing for Disney to do is to nod to what has been done already and continue a story and just kind of move on. And that would be awesome for her to become Wolverine and kind of reimagine who the X-Men are and just say, because honestly, overall, the whole X-Men property was decent, if not relatively good, through a good portion of it. There are moments of stumbles. There are moments. But there are a lot of good moments in it too. And I would probably much rather just like to see, let's continue that storyline. I think it'd fit into the MCU fine. They're going to continue Deadpool. Deadpool is at the same spot in the X-Men universe that they currently are. So it fits. Gaiskar's in the back room, but I can't see his thing. I think, he says he thinks his camera broke. Disconnect the camera and reconnect it, Gaiskar, and see what happens. If not, just click your camera off, and you should be able to come in. Just put your avatar up, and you should be able to come in. I'll wait and see if he can get that fixed really quick. Okay, Shifty, I'm not saying the whole thing was decent. I'm saying there were decent moments. Again, I say the biggest problem they had was they immediately focused on Wolverine as the main guy. And I guess if Disney wanted to do it, you just find somebody to put in there that's not a shining star. You get a new actor, unproven, and you make him the secondary character like he was in the comics. That's the best.
But I was gonna say that's why your theory about using weapon 23 or whatever the fucking name is,
Yeah. Mhm.
Makes a lot of sense because now you don't have to have Wolverine as the center character of all the X-Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I understand why they did it, but I think they wrote themselves into a hole because you're relying on a character. I mean, literally, they took a lot of liberties with the Wolverine character, height, and all that. I actually read an article a while back that honorably mentioned Danny DeVito because of his height.
Height.
And I mean, I guess if you de-aged him and put a different voice on him, it might work. But
No,
hey, he's the perfect height for it. He's the perfect height for it, though. I mean,
no.
Commander
No
Data
way
said
you're gonna convince. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So no, you're gonna convince me Danny DeVito is muscular and can do all that kind of stuff. No. Don't believe it.
Well, I think
I hear you, Danny, and I don't want to see him either. I don't think I think he's too old, and I don't think that works. But
yeah, I don't even think when he was young he could do it.
I think he would play a better Puck.
Yes,
you know what I mean. If they were to put him as Puck, I'd be okay with that. But in his younger days, not now.
All right, Gaiskar,
because that suit that Puck was in could kind of hide his physique.
Yes.
All right. So let's do this 3 minutes real quick with all of us. Yeah, did you hear my last one there, Anzo?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, no, not Anzo. I mean, Gaiskar. Did you hear the last one I said?
No, I didn't have to. Actually, I'm rebooting my desktop. I'm on my laptop right now.
Oh, okay. Daphne King, the Weapon 23 from Logan. I said that, honestly, that's where I would go, and I wouldn't even bother rebooting the series or restarting because you have Deadpool in its current state. They're going to continue that and that's right in the middle of the X-Men universe where it's at currently. So why not just continue down the path that they've already written, which is Weapon 23 replaces Wolverine, and you just keep going.
I think I mentioned that yesterday as well.
Yes,
she's grown up and can fit the part very well. So no, that makes sense. That's an easy way. But eventually the fans want to see Wolverine male, so they're gonna have to recast someone.
I also said that, and I think Anzo kind of agreed that it'd be better just to cast an unproven person as long as they fit the part and could do it. That way, you're not relying on Wolverine being your central character of the X-Men because that's not what he was. And
you better have a strong story because name recognition puts butts in the seats.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no.
I think if they were to follow the X-Men more to the X-Men story, where Cyclops was your main character, wouldn't it be cool to get more of a Cyclops-driven X-Men?
Yes.
I mean, I think
they kind of did that with the Dark Phoenix. The last X-Men didn't have Wolverine in it. It didn't do as well as other ones.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do. That had nothing to do with Wolverine being in it. That had to do with people not liking the movie, right?
Yeah.
The movie was trash.
The movie wasn't that bad.
For us, but a lot of people didn't like it. Like a lot of people thought it was trash.
And also, like I said, Disney was going ahead and greenlighting that. I heard the week before I saw a trailer for that it was dead in the water, wasn't coming out. And then Disney greenlit it. So I think Disney was just trying to kill off anything that was left of X-Men and say, okay, we're going to go. That's why the New Mutants came out. And I still haven't seen that yet, but I've heard a lot of people divisive about that.
You're not
because we got like 3 movies, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and the Last Stand. And
X-Men
to me,
United.
X-Men United, Last Stand. And to me, the first one was okay, the second one was trash, and the third one was trash. So even if you put him as the lead, you're still getting garbage movies. You have to have good movies. You don't need to have him as the lead, right? You can have Cyclops have a role. You can have Jean Grey have a bigger role. You can have Storm have a bigger role. Like in some of these movies, they actually made it so that Wolverine was the leader of the X-Men. And not back in the day.
Nope, absolutely not.
But I thought you said your favorite cartoon was Wolverine and the X-Men.
No, that wasn't my favorite cartoon. I loved it, but that has nothing to do with me wanting to see it.
Mac Mommy Bear, X-Men, the movie that shall not be named.
Yeah, horrible.
All right, guys. I have no dog in this fight. I don't think Gaiskar does, so we're going to give you guys, Anzo and Danny, a 5-minute rumble time to go at this question. There are talks that Steph Curry may take his talents to the Lakers. If he does, will they become an instant contender for the championship? Right there. It's 5 minutes. The two of you together. Go.
Well, first thing I'm going to say is the reason why I asked. Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that I saw this on a TikTok. And I was like, this is going to be something right here that I know don't get Anzo all worked up because I know he's going to be like, where you get that from? So I was just playing it up. I was like, yeah, I'm going to send this and say. So I had it like, yes, Lakers. Now, I don't think Steph Curry going to the Lakers. Would I love to see him go to the Lakers? Hell yeah. Would they be an instant contender for the championship? Hell yeah. But he leaving too much money on the table because he started there and was drafted with him. He would be walking away from a max contract. He would be a fool if he walked away from $200 million, which is the number that I'm hearing, because he already got 3 rings. He don't have to get a fourth. He ain't ring chasing. He's already done something nobody else has done. He's unanimous MVP. Nobody else has done that. Even Michael Jordan, even the great LeBron James, the people proclaim, nobody has ever done it but him. So he has nothing to prove. So would I love to see him in the purple and gold? Hell yeah. Is he going? I would be totally 1,000% shocked to see him in the Lakers uniform. What?
So now
what?
The question came up. First off, it wasn't even the question. It wasn't even the question. Right? The thing was, I said, you know what? Let me go and research where this information that Danny is getting came from. And I couldn't find shit. So that's why I posted it in the chat. I'm like, where are you getting this information from? And I knew it was some bullshit fucking TikTok video. I knew it. And I was just like, okay, so Danny wants to bring this question up. All right. So my thing was, I wasn't even going to fucking answer it. I was going to be like, this is a bullshit question because there's no fucking facts to this shit. So I will not even entertain this motherfucker. That was
I Googled it, and it went back to April. I'm like, what the fuck? This whole shit. It's like rumors.
Yeah. I said, yeah, I did. Hey, you know how he like to stir stuff up? That's exactly why I did. Stir him up.
I can tell you
it's gonna be some fun here, but
I could tell you it worked because my ass was searching for it and shit, and I was like, "Where the fuck is this information?" I went to fucking.
The funny thing is though that we were in LDG stream when you messaged that, and Anza went, "What the fuck?" And I knew it had nothing to do with LDG when we were talking about something. I muted myself and started laughing because right away I know he was going to search for that shit out.
Because not only did I get the thing, I get a text. Hey, guess what, Anzo? Great news. You want to hear something? I got something for you. So I'm like, okay, what? What is it, Danny? And sure enough, it's Steph Curry going to the Lakers, and I was like, okay, yeah, right, not gonna happen.
that was my masterpiece, buddy. I was sitting at work. I said yes.
Now, let me answer the question. If he goes to the Lakers, I will stop watching basketball for as long as he's on that team. I will not watch basketball
Why?
as long as Steph Curry is on the Lakers, because
Why?
you're gonna have Steph Curry,
So how
you're
about if
gonna
you
have
go?
LeBron James.
How about if you go to the Spurs?
Oh, I watch every day. I watch every game.
Oh my God!
Give me
my
Steph
goodness.
Curry. Give me Dame Dollar. I'll watch the fucking basketball. I will not miss a Spurs game. But put him on the Lakers,
Really?
and I am not. And I
Really?
am not watching one fucking basketball game. I will be done. That is it. I am over. You got Steph Curry, you got LeBron James, you got Anthony Davis, and no telling who they're going to try to sign as a free agent. And then you're going to have another super team. And I personally am sick and tired of the super teams. I'm tired of it. Yo, this finals,
Hey, this
go
experiment
ahead.
shows you right now that super teams don't. This experiment here, the super teams don't necessarily win. Cause look at Brooklyn.
Injuries, Danny. Injuries. Way too much injuries this season, because what happened is they didn't have an off season. They went right into the NBA, and there's a lot of injuries this season. Like, a lot of people getting injured. So I don't think that would have been normally the case. So that's why it's an anomaly to me. But when you have the Nets, you have this team, you have that team. To me, this is going to be the best finals ever. No LeBron, no Kawhi, no KD. Facts. The best finals in years since the Spurs went to finals.
If I was the Clippers, I'd fire Kawhi Leonard ass. He let that team down. All that money.
You know what it does. He does.
He's a screw.
But did you hear there's rumors that he was talking about if they don't fix the team, he's going to leave. There's talks that he's not happy with the medical staff, right? So, and I'm just like, you know what? This is what you get. The Spurs went through this shit with Kawhi, and now he's doing the same fucking thing that he did then.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the same thing.
Big baby.
Big
baby.
Yeah. Facts.
All right, guys. You had your fun. All right, we're going to go around one more time and make sure everybody knows about where you guys can be found and all that good stuff. We'll start with you, Anzo, since you're there now. Anzo, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Yes, what's up, guys? Biggaford Entertainment, much appreciated. Next up is the OOC, so if any of y'all want to come over there, come check that out as well. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Got people in the back room waiting already, and just look out for, I think it's July 18th. It's going to be another year anniversary of the OOC. So I've been doing the OOC for a year as well. And I don't know what I'm going to do for that one yet, but I think I'm going to try and do something to have a fire show on that one. So.
Okay, very good. Danny, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
I am Danny AK Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on my channel, and I'll be doing simultaneously on the Chaos Central. It's called the Chaos Conversation. It's basically 6 questions, 10 minutes each, 4 to 5 people discuss it. So please check us out. Also on Sunday afternoons, you can catch us on here on Chaos Central on Chris's show, which he hosts, which is the Loki Roundtable, and also later on that evening at 8:30 p.m. catch us on JJ Sith Lord's channel, and he does the Bad Batch Roundtable. So please give us a opportunity, sub to us if you haven't already subbed to us. Please support us, man, because we try to give you good content. So thanks again for another good show, Chris.
Not a problem. Thank you for being here. Same to you, Anzo. Thank you for being here. Last but not least,
Fox show was fire today.
I enjoyed it. I'll tell you what. And some of these questions we're keeping because some of them are still going to be relevant here in a week or so. And I want to keep some of these. So
cool.
They might stay on for next week. Last but not least, Mr. Gaiskar of the Basco scenario. Tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Absolutely, man. Everywhere that Anzo and Danny just said, you can find me on those shows. If not, you can just go right back to the beginning of the show and play us back, and you'll find out. So definitely, this show was lit. So great stuff, man.
All right. guys, really simple. You can follow me on Chaos, or you can follow me. Real Review 3000 is my channel. This is my Twitter right here. But let's talk about Chaos Central for a minute. I'd love to have you guys sub. If you know somebody who isn't sub, please tell them about us. Have them come over here, check out the shows. Also, each show now has its own email, and that email is forwarded to the host of that show. Mine is the rule of 3 at chaoscentral.com. Danny Graham's is the chaotic conversation at chaoscentral.com, and Anzo's is the chaos list at chaoscentral.com. We want to know what you guys want to talk about. So basically, send us topics, keep them current, keep them fresh, keep them fire, guys, and send them to us. And if we like them, we'll throw them in, maybe as honorable mentions. I'm sure Anzo would take those too. That's up to him. But I'm always willing to take topics. If it's on the rule of 3, all I ask is that it be sports, current events, or pop culture, and keep it, like I said, relevant to current. It could be a generic question. It doesn't really matter, but we want you guys involved. So I'm pretty sure Austinator will start posting those in the Chaos Central Twitter, and I'll make sure the guy that's in charge of the Chaos Central Instagram puts that on there. I'll put it on the Chaos Central Facebook, and it'll eventually be on the Chaos Central website too. But we want to get you guys involved in all of this. So, guys, check it out. Everything Chaos Central. We really appreciate you guys being here tonight. Yeah, and with that said, let me get over here to the brand. And you know what? I forgot to ask you, Anzo. I don't have the outro. Did you send it to me?
No, I don't even think I did yours yet, bro.
Okay, that's cool.
I'll do it tonight. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. All right, guys. With that said, peace.